Since Greg Gunderson was 6 years old, he's found something to race in. For the last 17 years, that's been a sprint car. Racing is in his blood. His racing hero and grandfather, Dewey Dirksen, is a local legend on the tracks. Greg's father was also a driver. He just finished one of his most successful years in racing this summer, with 14 first-place finishes. On this night in Worthington, Minnesota, he once again takes the checkered flag. His charisma and racing skill don't take long to win you over. When you meet Greg, you become an instant fan.
Hi, my name is Greg Gunderson, and deaf people can do anything except hear.
And, oh yeah, he's deaf. Greg Gunderson is a man full of surprises. He was born profoundly deaf to two hearing parents. But he's not your average deaf man, and he's not your average driver. What he is proof that you can do anything you set your mind to.
And your winner, the 22X of Greg Gunderson.
To really understand what makes Greg go, you have to know where he came from. He grew up in a racing family and was immersed in the culture even as a child.
I grew up attending many races all over with my dad and grandpa. I remember going to see my grandpa's racing shop. I was probably about 2. My favorite thing to do there was sit in the race car and imagine I was in a race. I didn't like slides or swings. I like sitting in a race car and driving.
When Greg Gunderson puts his mind to something, he gets it done. Just like when he was young and he convinced his grandpa that he was going to race.
My grandpa was like, "Oh, I'm not sure. I don't know if you can race." I've never known of any other deaf racers. Is it possible? He didn't want to say no, but he didn't know if he should encourage me either. I was emphatic that I wanted to. I had made up my mind. He reluctantly agreed, and once we got going, he realized, "You can race!" Then he became my biggest fan. He was always supportive, excited, and proud.
Greg's most memorable race came as a 22-year-old driver in 1990 at the Sioux Empire Fair.
There were so many fans, I was excited. My uncle said, "You can win tonight." I said, "I doubt it. There are so many other amazing drivers from all over the region." They all wanted to win the race, and there was a lot of money at stake. I just thought, I'll try my best. Then I realized I had won. Wow, I was so shocked. I continued on my victory lap. Many people were running past the pits out to the fence and cheering. I was waving as I came around to victory lane. I looked out, there were so many people congratulating me.
Wave to him.
I got out and looked at all the people in the stands. No one was clapping. Every one of them was standing with their arms waving in the air, applauding in sign language. It was so cool.
The lack of hearing might give other drivers an advantage when listening to the starter with their audio device. But the optimistic Gunderson thinks he has the advantage.
Since deaf people don't have the ability to hear, their sense of sight is more enhanced as well as their sense of movement. I think that gives me more of an advantage and benefit than a driver who can hear. A driver who can hear hears what? Just noise. What good does that do? He can't feel the track as well as I can. When I'm racing, even though I don't have the ability to hear, I can feel every nuance of the track. I can feel which line is the best. I get the best traction. Other drivers might not be able to feel the track and lose traction. I feel the best line and pick my spots to go outside and pass.
Another advantage to being deaf is the support he gets from the deaf community wherever he goes.
I decided to race in Oklahoma. For that race, I had more fans than anyone else, because many deaf people from Oklahoma came to see my race. Other people were astonished and said, "How can you have the most fans at your first race here?" The same thing happened last summer when I went to Wisconsin. Everywhere I go, I have the most fans. Really, I have deaf fans over the world, all over America.
Greg is known throughout the deaf community as the Deaf Racer, but Greg makes sure not to put all the focus on the track. He uses his fame to inspire all people, including deaf and hard of hearing individuals, with motivational presentations. Greg uses his Deaf Can Do Anything But Hear campaign to talk about the importance of life and overcoming personal and societal barriers to achieve your goals.
I love racing, but I love meeting people too. It's not just about racing. I travel and give presentations to schools, camps, churches, as well as different clubs. I go to meet deaf children and adults. I encourage the children to pursue their dreams and goals, and at the same time, I tell adults they could do anything except hear. And not only deaf people, I tell everyone deaf people can do anything.
He plans to continue racing as long as he can keep finding sponsors, which is becoming more and more difficult to do. But whether or not Greg is racing, one thing is for sure: he's already a winner in life.